You know, I think there is a strong lean of viewers of this channel who are drummers with recording setups. If that's you, smash the like button for YouTube algorithm. Which brings me to today's video. My guest or host of these, I don't know, what is it, a host? Is RJ Walker, who also is a drummer with an epic home studio. Now, what's cool about his studio is it's in the garage, but it's not just any garage turned into a studio. Most of the garage is still a garage. It's a 3-stall garage, so there's like the 2-stall and then the single, and he turned the single stall into the garage. So they still pull the cars in there, which is pretty awesome and very unique. I've never seen someone use a portion of the garage to turn it into a studio and still have it turn out as well as RJ's did. And shout out to Josh Niles, who designed and helped him build the whole thing. RJ is a great friend of mine. We've been waiting for his studio to be finished for some time to get together and do this. He actually bought my output desk that I had before the Danger Fox and has it in his current setup, and it actually looks really great in there. It was cool to go over there, hang out, and see how everything turned out. RJ, thank you so much for having me out. RJ has YouTube channel, he's got a website. All of his links are down in the description if you guys want to go give him a follow. RJ, thank you for having me out. I'm so happy that I could have done this and we could have made this happen. I've been waiting for it. It's really cool because these videos are a ton of fun for me to make. Personally, I really enjoy just hanging out in studios and checking out how people have things set up. So make sure that you guys have the notifications turned on when you subscribe to the channel, and you can see at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time every Monday the videos go up. Oh, that's hot. That feels good. I'm personally thinking about getting a new guitar, and I've never really bitten the bullet and gotten a really nice guitar. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments of what guitars to consider. I'm thinking about the PRS Silver Sky. And of course, if you're considering getting a guitar, Sweetwater is the best place to get it because of how thorough they are. Each guitar that comes in to the shop, they take out of the box and they do a 55-point inspection, and they photograph that individual guitar. So if you're on the site and you're picking out guitars, the one you see is the one you get. They have a great warranty to cover everything, and they have the best customer service. So if you spend a load on a guitar or on an interface or speakers or whatever you wind up getting, you have your own sales engineer who will help you get a deal on it and then follow through with you from the purchase to when you get it and then after to make sure that everything went smooth with it. So thank you so much, Sweetwater, for sponsoring the video and partnering with me. You guys are awesome. I'm very, very thankful. If you guys want to check out any of my links down in the description, my website, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. The affiliate links for all the stuff that I use, for all the gear that I have in my studio, takes you to Sweetwater, and it supports my channel, helps them, helps you. It's great. All right, that's it. Let's go to RJ's studio.
Subtly tucked away for my neighbors.
What color is on the wall here?
This color is called Polo Blue. I think it's a Benjamin Moore color, but it's really dope. We are a very avid Navy family for some reason. It's just a favorite of mine. Surprisingly doesn't make the room feel closed off, even though it's a really dark color.
So let's talk about the design here. Inside a garage, 3-stall garage, but this is only really taking up 1 stall.
So the original design of this room, where this wall stops, was originally gonna go all the way through. When I talked to my wife about it and we realized we can't park 2 cars in the garage and equally get 2 kids out of the car at the same time, she let me add this bump out where you're standing right now. So that way we can have all this extra walk-in space on that side.
Okay, so it's not square.
Nope.
You've got like this extra cool space here. It's funny because like the doorway feels like maybe there's a booth in there, or maybe we're in the booth.
Exactly.
And then you get the extra storage here, which is cool. How high are the ceilings?
In this room, it is down to, I believe it's 10 feet even. That was the main reason we picked this specific lot to put this house on, because I knew that they would build it out to be 11 feet naturally. So when we built the studio, it would be 10 feet, which is what I wanted.
You're tracking drums in here.
Remote drums.
The primary use?
That is the use of it at the moment, is mainly just for drums. Given the size of the space, we can't just like shove a bunch of people in here all the time. So it's mainly for drum tracking, but I also do, as you can tell by all the other instruments in here, some production work.
These panels. Look at this panel. I can't even get this in the frame, and I got a 10mm frame. Who designed the room?
So this room was designed by Joshua Niles. Shouts out Niles Acoustic Design. They are super, super dope. In fact, they're the ones who built Greybox. And so he designed this room. Thankfully, I caught him super early before he got famous and everything. So I caught him super early and we put this design together, and I gave him a rough idea and he just kind of made it more acoustically sound. And then we just kind of executed it piece by piece. And then I came in and built the panels myself.
This is the first time you build panels?
Yep, first time. I'm very surprised.
Did he kind of give you any sort of guidance or anything?
No, he did not. He definitely hooked me up on the fabric. This fabric is
nice.
I believe, Fabric Mate. It's from Fabric Mate, and it's a sidewalk, which I really enjoy this. And he's a really big fan of those, so he definitely took care of me on the fabric. But everything else, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I was tired of waiting on people to give me answers, so I just started building it myself.
All right, and then you got the cloud up there. How did you put that up there?
My wife, myself, and one of my brothers, they came over, and we just quite literally stood on the desk with 2 ladders in here and just piecemealed that thing chain to chain to chain.
Okay, and then you put the 3 panels in the back, and you left that open. So there's obviously cabling back there that you have access to.
Yeah, so everything that this whole front wall is, obviously these 2 panels are my bass traps, which are 6 inches deep. So 6 inches deep there, but they're also, I believe, 4 inches off the wall at the furthest point. This middle panel doesn't actually have anything in it. I made that hole for just having a TV.
Cool. All right, so drums. How long have you been playing drums?
I've been playing drums since I was 2 years old. The first time I started playing was in church when I was 2. Wow. And I've just been doing it ever since. This one is particularly special to me. Like, I will own more kits in my lifetime. I will probably never get rid of this kit. This finish, they discontinued a year, I believe, before they stopped making this kit altogether. In case anybody was wondering, it's a Gretsch New Classic, and it's a 4-piece. The 14-inch floor tom is over there on the shelf because I've been changing this configuration up a lot. Yeah, they stopped making the finish, and then they stopped making this kit. This kit actually got replaced by the Gretsch Renown RN1, I believe. The new version of the Renown. I love this kit very much, and it's great to record with. Maple shells, brass hardware and lugs, die-cast hoops. This thing is great to tour with and to play in the studio.
And what kind of snare is that?
That snare is a 14 by 6.5 pearl Sensitone aluminum. I actually bought that one to get ready for the first tour I did with Cassie Ashton, because I needed something that was somewhat brass but more my sound, and aluminum tends to do that a lot better. In my opinion, it's kind of the warmest option, if short of a wood snare drum.
And then these cymbals, are these all Meinl?
All Meinl, baby.
Nice.
I love Meinl cymbals. My secret weapon that I keep off the kit, with the exception of a couple of sound options, my unique option, that is a 20-inch extra dry thin crash, which is super great. Starting on the far left, 20-inch vintage trash crash, 18-inch jazz thin crash, 15-inch dark hats, 22-inch Benny Greb sand ride, 19-inch medium thin crash, brilliant. And then the classic customs 16-inch stat, which is really dope. I don't get to take it out as often as I would like. I just love it for an accent piece. It's loud, but it's thin.
Okay, and then let's see microphones.
This one was a bit of an arduous process putting all these together, because I was equally learning about recording and buying things simultaneously. So I'll run them from the top down. Right now, currently acting as my overheads temporarily until I get the ones I actually want are ATM 450s by Audio Technica. These will eventually be my ride and hi-hat mics, but I love these mics, especially on Meinl cymbals. They sound extremely natural, but they have like just the slightest bit of vibrance on them that I absolutely adore. On the hi-hats, we have Shure, that's the KSM81 that I am borrowing from a friend of mine. Thanks, Zach.
I think it's just SM81.
Oh, just SM81. Yeah, SM81. I don't know why I was saying KSM, but yeah, that's the SM81. That's a really good mic. I actually was kind of surprised by that, because I don't typically like pencil condensers all that much. On
hats, yeah.
On hats especially. Those are actually really dope. I really like those. Underneath this lovely foam pad is a SE Electronics V7X. Thank you, Aaron Sterling, for that recommendation on, I think it was on his Instagram. He did that video and I was like, I don't want an SM57. Yes, I want a V7X. Underneath SM57, I had to have one. Like, what studio doesn't have an SM57? Every studio has a shelf, floor lamp, and an SM57. And then on my toms, these are all ATM 230s. which are the successors to the infamous ATM 25s that are no longer sold in the US. And I really need to get some, but these are really, really great. And a little bit smaller profile, so they actually can tuck in a lot better than the 25s could. Another 57 on my ride. In the kick is an AKG D12 VR. I love this kick mic.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. It's extremely sensitive in the sense that you can change the depth of that by a couple of inches and will immediately notice a different nuance in your bass drum. And I haven't even messed with all the patterns on it yet. It's been in the same pattern since I bought it. And this lovely box here is homemade, baby. I think it's a 10 or 12 inch subwoofer from my brother-in-law's old truck. Me and my buddy Zach, who owns that SM81, we took it apart and we're like, we should make a sub kick out of that. And so we did. Originally, it was on a snare stand and I needed that snare stand back, and I had all this scrap lumber from building these panels. So I was like, let's try to build a box. And then to come are my room mics that will be here tomorrow. Stereo pair of Cascade fat heads. Didn't even know that they made these particular fat heads, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna buy those.
Have you used room mics in here yet?
I used a mono room on a couple of recordings and I really, really enjoyed it. But now that I'm gonna have stereo ones, I'm gonna definitely start to experiment. This room is like 16 feet deep. So I would love to start doing like a space stereo pair or a Blum line down the middle, either further back or right here, either one. I have the room to kind of mess around with that. But then I have a fleet of snares up here too that I wanted to point out as well. Two acolytes to the far left, and they are tuned extremely differently. The one on the left is more like country, alt rock. The one on the right is specifically for my band FM, like very Chris Daddy Dave sound on the right. And so that's why I have two of them, because they're so good. I love either one of those snare drums. I'll take out for anything. As a matter of fact, I use the other one for my backup snare on the road. Then I have the Gretsch Black Hawk. I needed a 10-inch for Cassie's tour, and that one was like 80 bucks. And so I was like, bet, that'll work. And it sounds great. Throw a trigger on it and it sounds awesome. And then that Gretsch is the first snare drum I actually bought when I bought this kit, the walnut shell with the maple inlays, and that has now become my deep snare. So that has like an Evans hybrid head on it, so it's tuned super low. And then the behemoth in the corner is a Slingerland Parade snare. Woo. Recently refinished by my buddy Dave. Shout out R. David R. on the YouTubes. That thing is like a Nashville gushy sound. There's obviously like a 60s, 70s Motown gushy, and then there's a Nashville gushy, what I like to conveniently call a worship gushy, and that's what that one does. If I ever want to have like any sort of like Steve Jordan-ish sound, yeah, Vultures kind of sound, that would be the one.
All right, let's talk about front of the room.
To the left, my MIDI controller, which I adore dearly, the Arturia Keylab 61. It's a lot to do on there, so I'm still trying to figure out everything I can do with it. But I love that thing. And then above it is Machine MK2. I'll use it either native or in Logic. I was usually the one to, out of convenience, use it in Logic directly. But then I realized that it's actually far more functional native and then standalone and then dragging it all in. So that's what I use this guy up here for. I never really enjoyed keyboard pads.
How dare you?
I know you have the Akai. I'm sorry.
Yours is keyboard pads. Come on.
I mean, yeah,
it's
but they're massive, man.
Come on.
Come on. This is a cheesy. That's a Triscuit size. I enjoy just having this separate because there's so many other things that I can access. Swing into the desk.
Yeah, this was in my house.
This was his previous desk.
This is where it all started.
And now, hopefully, it will bring me that same energy. I don't particularly like monitors on the desk.
Yeah.
The desk needs to be able to, I need to be able to move things around very quickly, and the monitors are the last thing I need to move. So I typically have always resorted to putting them on stands. These are the JBL, I think these are the LSR 308s. I had like the JBL 2325s before, and one of them finally gave up, decided to go with the 8-inch, the new versions. I think these are the MK1s, and I love these speakers.
They sound great.
They sound really, really good, and I'm actually kind of hesitant to buy a sub with these. If I'd never had a sub, if I never had the opportunity to get one, these have a really rounded bass sound in them that I really enjoy. So kick, drum, bass through them, they sound great. This studio is actually built to have 24 channels in total, but it is currently only running 16 of them. Again, I'm only tracking drums out of here, so that's why I only have the Sapphire Pro 40 and the Octo Preamp K2. I don't need all 24 channels available to me right now. I just use 16 at the moment. I'm running good old trusty dusty, the 2012 MacBook Pro, the last version of modular laptops out of Apple's factories. That thing is souped up. It has 16 gigs of RAM in it, a data doubler, so I have a regular eSATA, like high performance drive, and then a solid state that is my launch drive. So I have that internal, and then everything external is just simply for organization and backup. So the tower is my backup drive, and I have that one actually split into 2 terabytes a piece. So one side is backup, the other side acts as, I believe that's like iTunes library and photo library. So really there's barely anything on this computer that doesn't actually need to be there. Files that I actually need to work on, I'll bring from any one of those drives, work on it, and then immediately move it back, just so I know it's safe there. Typically that computer only is for keeping everything else in control. It just acts as the brain at this point. That TV is a Roku TV, which is dope. I actually really enjoy having a smart TV in here. I didn't think I would, but I actually really enjoy it in here, because when my kids come in here and want to hang out, the easiest way to tame them a little bit when they come in here, bring the chairs in, turn the lights off, put a movie on, and they absolutely adore it. So I treat it like a mini theater room. As far as the bass rig, which is my second favorite instrument to play, this is a Yamaha TRB 1005. They have not made this bass in a very long time. I really enjoy this bass. I like having an asymmetrical neck. I enjoy having a 5-string, and that bass is just, it's inexpensive and it plays really well. I tried to get away with not having a bass amp in this room. My initial thought was to never have one, but as I started to play it more, I realized that I need to have one. These bass amps are killing. I really, really enjoy this one, the BG250, especially with the simple fact that you can do like the beam stuff, which is great. That's fine if you want to add like the digital effects that you want to add to the amp to actually be able to program them. I love that they have the USB option, the tuners on there. They have an aux in and the headphone jack, and I keep this thing pretty even. I don't mess with the bass, middle, or treble mids or treble at all on it. I just leave it pretty balanced, and then that's a wrap on that. I'll plug this as well, because I know people are gonna ask about these lights. Our mutual friend Phil has these really, really dope lights in his studio that people keep asking him about. After I found out what they were, I went ahead and went to Amazon and found these for far less. So if anybody's curious about these lights,
I'm gonna track them down. Go check that description for a link.
Them links gonna be in that bio. They're gonna be in the description. They're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be great.
And then this one's pretty cool too. Is this the Amazon one?
I don't even know where that light came from. I got it as a gift from, I
got
believe
a
my mom
temperature
got it
on
for
it.
me.
Look
And
at
it's
that.
got a wireless charger on it. I have a very big phone, so it takes a second to actually find it. There we go. But that light, I've just had that light for a really long time, and it has a USB port on the back, so the LED lights that you installed on this desk that you never took off, they're actually being powered by that lamp.
And then what kind of speaker stands are these?
These are the DR Pro speaker stands, because every other speaker stand is far too expensive, and DR Pro makes really good stuff. They make really good mic stands, and yeah, I have a bunch of DR Pros. Like, I'm pretty sure all of these on here are DR Pros as we speak. Yeah, they make really dope monitor stands. You can either get them in this natural finish, which obviously for the aesthetic of the room, that's what I went with, or you can do like the dark kind of mahogany look. And I believe you can actually backfill these with like sand, so to make them a little heavier. These are great. The ones I had before were really, really inexpensive, and I kept cutting my hand on them, so I was like, all right, I'm done. So I threw them out when we moved here and finally got these.
Okay, and then this chair.
This chair is legit. It looks nice. It sits nice. Got a little lumbar.
Support.
We can move these arms, articulate these arms. That was a huge thing for me. I like to play bass when I'm sitting at the desk.
It's got the breathable back. You know?
Oh yeah, the mesh back. Your boy does not have Herman Miller money, so Amazon it was.
And then you got the track lighting across the top here. This is very pretty. What's the long-term plan in this room?
So long-term plan in this room is eventually I would like to kind of make it a giant production house, and I don't mean that just for music. I am speaking more towards any sort of like intimate live streaming events, doing some photo stuff out of here, doing videos out of here, you know, getting the YouTube channel off the ground.
Well, hold on, Apostle. Link in the description. Everybody please go subscribe. Stop.
I mean, just go subscribe.
Just stop the video right now. Go to his channel and subscribe.
I mean, please. But yeah, so it's gonna be kind of an all-in-one spot where people can come and get really professional grade work done for a lot less expensive than having to hire out each particular part of that project. So the plan is to eventually make this kind of the starting line to launching something like that. Eventually, obviously, I'd like to expand this, but right now I am very, very happy with how this place turned out. Took us 2 years from the time we started building the very first wall that's outside of this one.
Wow.
So in case people are wondering about the orientation of this room, that's actually the front of the house. So outside of this wall is the garage door that we've sealed off and blacked out the window. So it looks normal outside on the street. Yeah. But this is what's inside of it. To the people who are watching this, who donated to the GoFundMe to finish this is what y'all did. Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Y'all are awesome. And I apologize sincerely that I have not given you updates on it, but he and I have been talking about doing this video for, how long have we been talking about this?
Here it is.
Here it is now.
This is it. Go to his Instagram, go to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, it'll be my Instagram and then the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. And then we'll talk about the website when y'all get there. How about we meet at my Facebook page or my Instagram?
What's your Instagram?
Instagram is @BashWalker, BASHWALKER.
And then YouTube channel?
Just type in RJ Bashwalker.
RJ Bashwalker, or click the link in the description.
It's down there.
First, go subscribe, then go to his Instagram and hit him up. Dude, thank you for letting me come out.
Yeah, you're very welcome, my friend.
Smash the like button, subscribe.
For the algorithm, guys. For the algorithm.
For the algorithm, for the dad jokes, go to his channel. Thank you guys so much.